welcome to my podcast. My name is Emily and I am coming to you from my house in Pensacola, Florida. And this is episode 1 of my knitting podcast. Very excited to be here. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I think it is a great way to start out 2024 and to connect with the knitting community and just kind of be more engaged with this amazing, supportive, wonderful community. And it's really just a space for me to share what I'm working on and what I'm excited about, what I want to work on. And I think I have a whip video planned in the future for sure. A should I frog or should I finish video. But today what I'm going to focus on is everything that I have finished in 2023. There are a few things that I don't have because they were gifts, so I am going to try to include pictures where I can of those items, but mostly I knit for myself. There are a couple of people in my life who are knit worthy that I was pretty excited to make some items for this year. So without any more waffle, let's just jump right in. The first item I'm going to share is what I finished most recently. So this is a sweater called the Levitate Wrap, and it's by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So this sweater is, as the name suggests, it is a wrap cardigan. It's really, really cute, really comfortable. I'll put it on. I won't be able to wear this for long because it is a pretty warm day here in Florida. So, and I'm in my front room that gets a lot of south-facing lights, so it is quite warm today. So cute. This sweater I knit in Blue Sky Fibers Woolstok, which is a worsted weight 100% wool. It is non-superwash, and it's a super, super comfortable, cute sweater. As you can see, it's a little bit cropped on this onesie that I'm wearing today. I actually knit this purposely to go over. I have like 4 of these onesies. I love them so much. So I knit this specifically to go over this, this onesie. It fits, it hits like right where the, like you can see it's like tight and then kind of billows out. I wanted it to hit pretty close to that spot so that it would look, I don't know, just kind of cute on the top. I loved knitting this pattern. I thought that it was really easy to follow, and I thought it was a cool construction, especially in the back. I'll show you the shoulder detail. So this I really like, and the way that it was constructed was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I would characterize myself as a advanced beginner to maybe just getting into intermediate knitter. I started knitting in 2020, right before the pandemic started. And, you know, I've been loving it ever since, but definitely have not been knitting for a long time. And I have learned quite a lot of lessons along the way, made a lot of mistakes and continue to make a lot of mistakes, but you know, that's all part of it, right? So yes, so this is a worsted weight. The pattern actually, I believe, calls for a bulky weight yarn. So one issue that I have run into by using a worsted weight yarn is that this garment does pill quite a bit, as you can see right in this area and on the arms. And this level of pilling is, oh gosh, is actually after I depilled it with a razor pretty recently. So it is I think the combination of it being a very soft, comfortable next to skin yarn, and that I knit it on a very loose gauge. So I think I use size 10 needles. So that's quite a loose gauge for a worsted weight. So I think those two things combined make it just more prone to pilling. And I also wear the crap out of this. I wore this, I don't know, 2 or 3 times this week. I wore it out for drinks last night. I think it transitions really nicely from being something I can wear to keep me warm at work, but then also it's very kind of chic and cute to transition to going out at night. So it's just a very versatile piece. I think it's very flattering too. I think a wrap cardigan is really flattering on a lot of different body types. One thing that I am happy that I did is I found these magnetic snaps at my local yarn store. I believe they're Clover brand, but I just like, see, that's so satisfying, but it's nice because they're like easy to pull apart without pulling on the stitches, and they kind of find each other in there because it's magnetic. So it's just a little bit smoother to snap on the cardigan. So let's see what else. I love that the sleeves are loose and kind of sweatshirty. I don't believe I did really, I think the only modification I did on the sleeve was I did, I decreased, I did one more decrease, like an upper arm decrease. You know how like you're decreasing less frequently in the upper arm and then kind of more frequently in this forearm as you get close to the wrist. I did one more upper arm decrease because I was a little nervous that the wrist would be too tight. And I really like how it turned out. These are my favorite sweater sleeves I think I've ever knit. They're just like exactly like a sweatshirt sleeve. And then the cuffs are folded over, which is a nice touch. They're really squishy and soft, and I can still kind of, they're stretchy enough that I can pull them up a little bit. So that's nice. This band all the way around is double knit, and then the bottom band as well is double knit. So it is several feet of double knitting. If you do not enjoy double knitting, this may not be the project for you. I don't mind double knitting. I actually do like it a little bit better than ribbing. And I like the finished product. I think it's very polished, and I like the squishy texture of it too. I think it's got a very nice finish to it. So very, very pleased with this pattern. Would I knit it again? Yes, and I did. I'll show you the other one that I knit. All right, we'll do a costume change here. This next one that I knit, I made for my best friend, Zoe. So Zoe is Zoe's maybe 1 or 2 sizes smaller than me at this point. So this cardigan, that last one, by the way, I knit in, I believe the size, I think it was the size 3. It's whatever a size medium would be. Just for reference, pretty much in US clothing sizes, I'm a medium and a size like 6 to 8. So that's, if that matters to you, or if that's helpful at all. And Zoe is probably they're probably a pretty solid small. So, and then, yeah, so I made a size smaller for them. So this one would be the size 2 or small. I'll have to look at the pattern again. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. But so I used the same exact yarn, the Blue Sky Woolstok worsted yarn, and I again used my little snap. Boop. And I will put the colorways on in my, well, I guess I'll just put them on the screen. That last one was in Northern Lights, which is one of my favorite yarns ever. This one, I honestly need to, I don't remember. But I love, this is one of my favorite colors, this bright, snotty, like green. I love this. I have had this skein. I went to a Blue Sky Fibers trunk show at a yarn store in Colorado Springs a couple of years ago, and I have had this yarn in stash for about 2 years, and I was like, I wanted to do something. I actually purchased it specifically for Zoe because this is their favorite color. So I had been, you know, kind of looking at all these different patterns and hadn't really landed on one that I was really excited about for them until I made the Levitate wrap for myself. And I was like, oh, I think they're really gonna like this wrap as well. I think they're gonna use it and wear it. And they live primarily in Colorado, so I think that they'll actually get a lot more use out of it than I will. So this one ended up being a little bit more cropped, obviously because it's a smaller size. Although, in the pattern, she says that so it's intended that the smaller sizes are going to have more positive ease. They're going to be more slouchy. And then her larger sizes are going to be less oversized. So she grades it in a very, you know, mindful way, I think, to be flattering on just different body shapes and sizes. So I really appreciate that. I do think it's pretty size inclusive. Again, I'm so sorry, I need to go double check, but I know there has been, you know, some talk about some designers, and I'm not saying this about my favorite things knitwear by any means, but I know that there's, you know, always some talk about designers, sometimes like European designers primarily, you know, maybe not having quite as much size inclusivity. And I don't remember if I have heard that about my favorite things knitwear. And clearly this comes from a place of privilege of being, you know, being a body size that, you know, most clothing is made to fit me. So that's, you know, the fact that I don't know that it's size inclusive is because I do come from that place of privilege. Okay. But yeah, so again, just very similar. I do love that I did the contrast color. I think that this turned out really cool. And I think that it highlights this awesome color so well. I want to make more items with this color yarn for sure. I really, really like it. And then I always love a forest green, and I think that they will as well. It's kind of tough not to keep it, because again, like, it's perfect. It fits perfect with this little onesie. I am going to go back and place the snap correctly. See how it doesn't quite overlap the way it should. So that bothers me. I am gonna just place it differently. And it's very easy to place. Like, if you can see in there, it's just all metal. You don't sew it. You place it. I placed it in between the stitches. There's like a little back piece that you fit it through like that. And then you take pliers and like bend it so that it stays in place. And it's not difficult at all to unbend and like replace. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay. So I think that's all I have to say about this project. So this was intended to be a Christmas gift for Zoe. Obviously I am filming this in January, so this did not get sent out by Christmas. And that is because I am making a third Levitate wrap, and that is for Zoe's mom. Also, just one of my best friends, and kind of like, we just call her my mom too. So I have you know, I'm very privileged to have two wonderful mother figures in my life, my own mother, and then Ginger, who is just incredible and very knitworthy. Ginger lives in Colorado, and she also, I think, will get quite a bit of use out of the Levitate wrap. And actually, I know this is not technically a finished object, so it's not in theme, but like, it's sitting right here, so I'll show you. Hers is the same. Hers is matchy, and I'm so close to being finished. I finished the whole body and the bottom ribbon and everything, and the last little bit I have to go, I'm working on the last little tie. So I'm really close. I will probably finish this today and block it and get it drying. And hopefully by sometime next week, I'll get their Christmas package out. A little late, but that's okay. I told them it was gonna be late. And yeah, so we're all gonna have matching sweaters. I'm very excited about that. I think it was very ambitious of me to knit the same pattern in very quick succession. I finished my version of that sweater in late November. I finished Zoe's in you know, mid-December, and then Gingers I have been knitting since then. And I like the sweater, but I think I'm done for a while. I might make another one in maybe like a cooler weather yarn, maybe like a linen blend, or like a cotton merino even would be a little bit more wearable here in Florida. Right now this sweater is a winter only sweater, and there's just a short season here to actually wear a worsted weight wool sweater. So I think I do like it enough that I would probably knit it again, but in a yarn that is a little bit more versatile here. So, okay, moving on. Our next finished object is yet another wool sweater for here in Florida. And this is a pattern called Iskald, I believe is how you say it, by Caitlin Hunter. So this is pretty cute. I have a few things that I maybe would have done differently, but overall a very comfy, cute sweater. I will put it on. So I love Caitlin Hunter's patterns. Most of them are kind of oversized and comfy, and this is no exception. And it was very, very well written, very easy to follow. Kind of hard to see, but very, very oversized and slouchy. And it has this I think it's a dolman. I don't think it's a full bat wing, but as you can see, my armpit is here. So very, very, like what deep raglan, and kind of a dolman. So you really rapid decreasing to the arm. And I really enjoy this sweater. As you can see, my V, I was not very neat with doing the V. So that does bother me a little bit, obviously, because it's front and center, and the variegated yarn make it look a little wonky, wackadoodle, even though it's not, but it gives the illusion that it's kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know, weird. So those are my big things that I'm like meh about, but overall the sweater is so comfortable. It's knit in a fingering weight. This is Mad Tosh. I don't know like what they're like, is it singles? It's a single ply fingering weight, and the color, I love the color name. The color name is Wolf, and oh my gosh, sorry, I have a dog hair on my nose. I think I bought it. It looked really cool in the skein, you know, all these like high contrast hand-dyed yarns always do. Maybe I loved it more in the skein than I do knit up, to be completely honest. But I don't know. It's still really cute. I think this sweater maybe would look better in a tonal or a solid, because you lose this detail on the arm, which is a really pretty, just simple cable down the raglan. So I think that you lose that in the variegated yarn. But I don't know, overall it's pretty cute. Part of the reason I like this yarn is because I have a German Shepherd named Gunther, and he is black and tan, so this color scheme matches him. So it's sort of like my little matching sweater to Gunther, plus the name was Wolf, and Gunny looks like a big old wolf. So I'll try to put in a picture. I tried really, really hard to pose with him, like to get to get finished object pictures where like me and him were like posing and being really cute next to each other, but he had other ideas. He was just like busy with dog business. So the best picture I got was like, I'll show you, it's like ridiculous. You can barely see him. But I wear this to work quite frequently. It's pretty comfortable. I like that it's lightweight. It's a very loose gauge, a very, very like relaxed, comfy, slouchy sweater. So overall really nice. The fabric has held up pretty well. It's had a little bit of pilling, but not too bad. And would I knit it again? Yeah, I mean, probably I would. But again, like I said, I would do it in a solid, probably not anytime soon though. I think there are so many other patterns that I'm interested in knitting and want to explore, that maybe down the line I will, just because I know how this turned out and I like the fit of it, and I think it's, you know, just overall pretty comfy and a nice little throw on, like, cute thing to wear. But it's not high on my list of things that I would want to knit again, simply because I just probably, like, to a fault, go through Ravelry and pick favorites. So I have this huge list of stuff that I want to try. But that's nothing against Caitlin Hunter. I really loved knitting the pattern. I thought it was, again, like, super well written, super easy to follow. Her patterns are really, really great. I have a few of them, and she's one of my favorite designers. All right, moving on. Moving on. That was this one. I am sweating, y'all. It is hot here. It is all hot. Next, we have an accessory. This is one of, like, 3 accessories I've finished this year. I'm not a big, just not like an accessory girly, to be honest with you. But this one I was kind of couldn't resist. My local yarn store sent out an email with, like, hey, look, we got these new fade kits. And I was like, I saw them and I was like, I need that. I saw this one, so, and it goes to pink. How cute is that? I saw this fade and I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. The yarn is Emma's yarn, and she is a Florida-based yarn dyer. And these colors were just so cute and cheerful and bright. I added in the picot edge. I will put the pattern in the description below if I can find it. It was, oh man, I can't remember. I'll look it up on my Ravelry. I know I have it somewhere. But just a super cute, like, just like, I don't know, like little triangular shawl. I like it. I think it's really fun. I think the colors are really bright. And then it's not in the pattern, but I decided to do this little, like, bright yellow picot edge with a mini skein that I had. So, and I think it's a cute little pop and a fun little shawl to wear. The idea of her pattern, I remember in the description of the pattern, I want to say this designer might also be from Florida. But the idea of it was, this is a big shawl for when it's kind of warm out. So, you know, you don't need a sweater, but then you go in the air conditioning, like in a restaurant here in Florida. We love air conditioning, and in the summertime, it's like 8 million degrees outside. And then, so you get, like, immediately sweat the second you get out of your car or your house, and then you go into the air conditioning and it's like the tundra. It's so cold. So having something like this to just, like, throw, basically my idea of it was, like, throw over my shoulders. When I'm, you know, if I go in a restaurant or I go inside, I can just kind of huddle under this for warmth in the summertime, but it's not super heavy. And I think the fade is really, really beautiful. I had so much fun knitting this, just from this, like, bright green, and then down almost like, this gave me watermelon vibes in here, this just pink and green, and was such a joy to knit. Very, very exciting. I have to admit, I don't really wear this very often. It doesn't go with a lot of my wardrobe, to be honest with you. I wear a lot of neutrals, you know, like dark greens and rust, and I just don't wear a lot of bright colors. So it's not something I reach for. Although, like, I think it looks, like, relatively cute with this jumpsuit, you know, like the jumpsuit's pretty basic, but then you have this cool pop of, like, bright color. So maybe I'll consider that as an outfit, you know, but we'll see. But anyway, it was fun to knit. So just really cute texture too, as you can see, just very simple. I'm gonna let it focus. There we go. Very simple knit purl, alternating rows to give it kind of an interesting texture, but very, very easy to knit, very beginner friendly. So I did enjoy that. And all right, moving on. Oh, we're on this side now. Okay, so this is my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May Designs. I knit this in a summery yarn. This yarn I want to say is linen, cotton, and silk blend, and I do not remember the yarn that I used off at the top of my head, so I apologize for that. But this is as the title suggests, it is a raglan, top-down raglan sweater. Very, very comfortable, very cute, relaxed. I believe it's a DK weight. And the idea of this sweater, I'll stand up, I think it just hits really nice. I added in a split hem, and you can see the split hem is really working because I have kind of a bigger, wider hips and kind of a bigger booty. So my split hems, they gotta work, okay? So the idea of this sweater was to be something in the warmer months to have on hand again for that freezing cold air conditioning here in Florida to throw on. My idea in planning this was, I imagine that feeling when you're out in the sun all day, like you're at the beach, and maybe you get just a little hint of a sunburn, and then you go inside and you're all of a sudden, you're kind of chilly. This is what you would reach for to throw on. It's soft against the skin. It's light, so it's not like when you're sunburned and you put on a blanket or something and then you're like, I'm hot and you just can't get comfortable. This was something I thought that would be so comfortable and what I would reach for to wear in a cooler air conditioned setting after being outside all day in the hot sun. And I think it fits the bill. It's a really pretty color. It's kind of an icy blue gray, which I think looks pretty nice with my coloring. I love the texture too, that it's, I'll see if I can get it to focus, but the texture is nice, just very, interesting. I think that's the blend of the yarn. I think the cotton is what looks a little fuzzier here, and then the linen is more smooth. And then of course the silk does give it, it's not shiny per se, but it does have a nice kind of finish to it, and it's relatively drapey. It's very nice. So overall, a really cute sweater. I don't wear it honestly as much as I feel like I should for how nice it is. So one thing that's been nice about this video has been revisiting all of my knits from this year and being like, hey, I need to wear that. That's cute. Why don't I wear that more often? I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get in a outfit rut, not a rut, but I wear the same thing. I'm like a cartoon character, I feel. I wear the same outfits over and over and over again. I don't know why I do that, but so maybe I need to incorporate this into my cartoon outfit and wear it more frequently, because it is really nice, and I just a nice beautiful neutral. And I did do a tubular cast on, as you can see, and I like to do, when I can, a tubular cast on. I just like the way that it looks. I think for me, taking a little extra time to do especially on the cast on and bind off, I like having a nice polished look in those details. So those things will stand out to me in my garments, and they'll kind of bother me if they're not right too. So it's the little things like that for me. So I'm happy with this neckline. I think it's a nice just crew neck. It's not too tight on my neck, but then it's not gaping and really wide. And then I think the raglan sleeves are nice and relaxed, but not too, I don't know, not too loosey-goosey. And then it does tighten in on my wrists and hit kind of right at my wrist. So overall, a really nice sweater, really comfortable, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. A lot of people had knit this pattern before and had really great things to say about it. So I was like, okay, I gotta try it, and I agree. I thought it was Like everything else I have knit, very well written and easy to follow. I didn't have any issues. I think if I was a beginner knitter, I could like pull this sweater off still and like it would be comfortable. I think DK is a really nice, versatile weight to use, and it goes pretty fast. So if you're thinking about knitting a first sweater, I think that this pattern would be a good one to consider. Jessie May also has a lot of more contemporary, kind of younger, I don't know, like you know what? No, not younger. We're not saying that. Like you can wear whatever you want at any age. Like let's not like assign like age gates to clothing. Like it's not like my mom always used to be like, does this look too youthful for me? And I'm like, if you like it, wear it. You know, like, come on, like it shouldn't matter. Like we should be able to wear what we want. So, but she has cute, stylish, very flattering clothes, designs, clothing designs on her Ravelry. So definitely check her out if you haven't. I'm sure most of you have already heard of her because she's a really big, popular designer. Okay, second to last item that I have here is the Cozy Classic Light. So this is again by Jessie May, and it is the fingering weight version of the raglan that I just had on. And I only had 2 skeins of this superwash. I don't remember what it is. Sorry. I don't remember what this yarn, what company makes this yarn. I'm like 2 in a row. I fell in love with it though. How cute is this? It's like bubble gum. Oh, the color, I remember the color. The color is Hubba Bubba because yes, it like reminded me of bubble gum, and the bright pink made me so happy. I saw the yarn in my local yarn store, and I like was like a magnet. I was like, I need it, and I just grabbed it. They only had 2 left, and I was like, these are mine. So I figured, you know, I can make a cropped 3/4 length version of the Cozy Classic, and that'll be pretty wearable here in this warm weather. So, and I'm very happy with it. It's really cute, and I think it fits me really well. I'll stand up. So it is quite cropped. I have tried to wear this with jeans, but it does ride up quite a bit if I'm sitting down or bending over. So I think it looks so cute with, again, like this romper, which, as I was saying before, like this would be like one of my cartoon character outfits. I wear this thing like probably too much. But I love this. And then I don't know if you can see, if I'm gonna be able to show you, but I did a little heart on the back. And that was just to distinguish the front from the back for me. So when I'm putting it on, I can tell. And I thought it was a cute, just little detail. And it was my first time doing duplicate stitch. So I figured out how easy that was. I want to use more duplicate stitch in my knitting in the future. Again, I did the tubular cast on. I love the way that this one looks. I think it looks really neat and clean. I did tubular bind off. Where's the focus? Come now. Tubular bind off here, and I think it hits at a nice part on my arm. And I just think that the overall, like, I just think it's very like flattering. Like, I think it has kind of a vintage look, because it's a little bit like more fitted and cropped in the 3/4 length. So really, really enjoy this sweater. I think it looks really pretty. And I just think that the pink is just so cheerful. I love pink. I've been like very excited about pink this year. I think maybe we all have because of the Barbie movie. I don't know, but there's dog hair all over it too. It's ridiculous. My bind off is a little bit tight. Like, it's not too tight. Like, it doesn't feel tight when I'm wearing it, but when I'm putting it on, I can definitely, it doesn't, like, it's stretched all the way to try to get it on and off. So, but I feel like if it was looser, it might be kind of too loose when I'm wearing the sweater. So I don't really have a problem with it. It doesn't bother me. I think if the gauge was a little tighter, I think that the double knit heart would look a little bit neater. But here, no, look at this, not my face. Yeah, I think the double knit would look a little neater if the gauge was a little bit tighter, but I still think it looks pretty cute. And yeah, this is great. I would definitely make this again, and I have thought about making it again with some fingering weight yarn that I have. My last thing, I don't feel like I'm not gonna try this on because it's a tank top. This is another My Favorite Things knitwear. I'll have to look up which tank it is, but it's a 3x3 ribbed tank. And I made this in Malabrigo Susurro. And I will have to look up the color, but it's a really pretty turquoise teal sort of color. And this yarn is a blend of merino, silk, and linen, I believe. So it is more of a warmer weather type fabric. I think I'm not super happy with the way this tank turned out, and it's not because there's anything wrong with the pattern. The pattern was beautiful and well written. I think what ended up happening was I wanted it to be, I didn't want like really any positive ease. I wanted it to be kind of a fitted tank. So I made a size either small or extra small. And I just don't, I don't know. It fits okay. Here, I'll show you. I'll just, whatever, I'm gonna put it on. It's okay. I think the issue I have with it is these things, it doesn't fit. I mean, like, look, they go out like here, like wide. Like they should be going straight down the front, and they're going, so it doesn't fit. It's too small. That's the issue. So yeah, I would have to make a bigger size. I considered ripping this out, and I also made another one of Jessie May Designs. She did these little like flutter butt shorts, which I made also in this yarn. I made it as like a matching set, and they don't fit the way that I wanted them to. The crotch is just like very like loose. I don't know, like, oh God. Yeah, like I don't know, like they don't fit the way that I wanted them to. So I'm considering it's so hard because I like finished it. It's hard to frog something that you've finished. But this is very nice yarn, and if I frog this and I frog those shorts, I could potentially make I could make a little sweater or something that I could get more use out of, or I could make a tank top with thicker straps, which that's another thing. This is an I-cord strap, and it's just not, the tank in general is just not bra friendly, and I don't want to wear it without a bra out in public. It like kind of drops too low for that. So just a couple of things that made it not quite wearable. You know, the more I talk about it, the more I think I will end up frogging that and reusing the yarn. I need to dig the shorts out of my drawer, like the dresser, and reclaim that yarn too, because I really do like Susurro. I like the finish. It's the silk content makes it shiny, kind of not super shiny, but does have a sheen to it, and it's beautifully drapey, and it does make this a really nice fabric, especially here in Florida. So I think I could have a garment that would be much more, I would just get more wear out of it. Both of the things that I've made out of that really nice yarn I don't wear, so that's kind of a shame. The last two items that I made this year were, one was the Oslo hat, and I made that for my dad for his birthday. I made that out of, I think it's called flyWHEEL yarn. I know flyWHEEL is in the name. I don't know if that's the type of yarn that it is or if that's the company that makes it, but it's 100% wool, non-superwash. And I want to say it's milled in New Hampshire. It's a really nice yarn. It's a little bit rustic. I don't think I would want it, you know, like to make a cowl out of it, which incidentally, I did purchase that yarn to make a cowl, and I got part of the way through the cowl and I was like, I'm not gonna wear this. It's gonna be too scratchy. So it kind of languished for 2 years. And then this year I wanted to make my dad a hat, and it's this really pretty, it's predominantly navy blue, but if you look at the yarn closely, it's got these flecks of red and then kind of like some bright tealy like green in it that make it very interesting kind of the more you look at it. So it's not just a flat navy, but I think it's basic enough and not loud enough that my dad would still like it and wear it. So I made him the Oslo hat, and I am pretty proud of the way that it turned out. You know, my dad is the most knit-worthy person. 2 years ago, I made him the halibut hat by Caitlin Hunter. My dad is a fisherman for his job, and he also just like is one of those people that just when they have an interest, they like know everything about that special interest, and that is what fishing is for him. So like any like biome in the United States, like he'll tell you the fish that live there and like their natural history and all kinds of stuff. So he's a very interesting guy. Like all of that to say he loves fish. And as soon as the halibut pattern came out, I was like, he needs that. Like he's gonna love that. Here in Florida, a sweater, a colorwork sweater, especially in wool, is just not practical. He really wouldn't get enough wear out of it. I think most of the time in the winter, he's going to wear like just a cotton like sweatshirt. So when she came out with the hat though, I was pretty stoked. I knew he was really gonna like it. So I went out and I got some yarn and made it for him. I was really nervous. I'm not very good at color work, and I was nervous that because it's a hat, I was nervous my color work was going to be too tight. So I think I overcompensated, and that hat is humongous. Like it is so big, and like it just doesn't fit him well at all. And bless him, because that winter he wore that hat every day walking the dogs. I think like rolled up twice, and it like still was like doesn't fit him. But what is just like sweetie that he was like, yeah, like Emily made this for me, so I'm gonna wear it even if it doesn't fit. So the next year I made him a hat out of Blue Sky Woolstok, the worsted weight wool yarn, and I don't remember the pattern I used. It was just a basic stockinette hat, and that actually fit him. And then this year I feel like I nailed it, and it fits like perfectly because he goes out on the water and is out, you know, for, you know, 8 hours at a time out on the Gulf. You know, it gets pretty windy out there, and I wanted him to have something that would protect his ears from the wind. So what I really liked about the Oslo hat is that it has a double, like a folded over brim, and then it's meant to be folded up. So it's a triple layer on the ear. So it's very warm for him. The wind is not going to get through that, especially like because it's a non-superwash yarn. I think over time as he wears it, it's going to make like an even more just like it's going to kind of mesh together and felt together and make a really warm, windproof, and, you know, kind of water resistant, you know, not waterproof, but I think like water tends to like kind of beat up on wool a little bit more than cotton and things like that. So, it's this little fisherman's cap. He also wears it walking the dogs. So, he's been wearing it quite a lot since his birthday in early December. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. And then the last item I made was for my mom, and it is similar to the Oslo hat, but I actually found out that my friend from when I lived in Columbus, my friend Rachel, she actually writes patterns, which of course she would. She's so talented, and was a clothing designer before she started her own business hand dyeing yarn, and her business is called ZZ Knits. Wait, no, ZZ, I think, or is it ZZ Fibers? I'm sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry. I know it's ZZ, like Z-E-E, Z-E-E. I'll put a link down below to her shop because her yarn is so beautiful. She's an artist. She truly is. And it's always so interesting to see her shares her color inspiration and how she plans, her collections. Like, they're really cohesive. There's just so much artistry that goes into what she produces. And I saw on Ravelry that she had written this hat pattern, and immediately I was like, yeah, this is going to be a great pattern. Rachel wrote it. And like, I was so excited to be able to buy that and support her. So I knitted it for my mom. It's a DK weight from the like bottom up hat design, and it is again, it's got the folded over brim, and then it's meant to be worn folded up, so you have that 3 layers on your ears, so it's really, really warm. And the yarn that I used was really special too. I got it at my local yarn store, and it is called Willow Tree Yarns, and it is actually hand dyed by my neighbor. She lives 3 houses away from me, and I see her all the time. She works at the yarn store and started in the last 2 years, I think, to dye her own yarn with the company name of Willow Tree Yarns. And a lot of her colors are inspired by Pensacola, are just beautiful natural surroundings. And this color that she dyed reminds me a lot of the bright turquoise water that we have at the beach. We have really, really white sand, so it makes our water, especially in the shallow water, just gorgeous light turquoise color, and that was what this hat reminded me of. So, and my mom has really beautiful green eyes, and I thought that it would look really pretty with her eyes. She wears a lot of blues and greens, so sorry, my cat is like in the yarn bin. What are you doing? She's like attacking the bin. She's very vicious. So yeah, I knit that for my mom, and she also has been wearing it pretty frequently, and she said that I finally got the sizing right. So this is the first hat I've ever knit for her. So this was all based on my dad, but she actually has been wearing it. So she actually requested specifically a hat. She'd been wearing my dad's hat that I made him last year when they went up to Vermont this year to go fishing. So she had been wearing it out on the lake where it's really chilly. So she requested her own hat, and I was very excited to actually like have someone ask me to make something, because usually I just gift. And then okay, I'll put in a picture of her wearing this because I am sure that she will send me a picture. I knit for my very good friend Mary for her birthday. I knit her the Summer Sorrel. It is a t-shirt. It is a top-down t-shirt. I think it's got this like pretty drops. I think is it called drop stitch design? I don't know. But I just the design at the yoke is really, really pretty. And I actually, Mary had been going through Ravelry, and she had the Summer Sorrel on her list of things that she wanted to make. She's a newer knitter. She started about a year a year and a half ago now. So it takes her a little bit longer to get through projects. So I was like, I'm just gonna make this for her birthday. When I was up in Vermont visiting my parents, I got some hand-dyed yarn at a local craft store there. So it was a local dyer made this beautiful hand-dyed 50% merino, 50% silk blend. So I thought it would be really pretty, like soft drapey t-shirt for her in this really cute lilac color. Mary really likes that purple color. So, and I gave it to her for her birthday this year, and she seems to really like it. I am a little bit disappointed with how the sleeves lay. I think I wish I had done maybe I-cord sleeves to match the I-cord cast on, which I had never done an I-cord cast on before. So that was new for me. And I didn't hate the process, and I like the way that it looks, especially on a summer garment. I think it looks really nice. I kind of wish I had done an I-cord bind off on the sleeves so that they wouldn't flip up. I think that the ribbing is like not long enough or something. I don't think it's a problem with the pattern. I think it was probably a problem with like my sizing or gauge or something. Like maybe the sleeves are like too tight and they roll up, or I'm not sure, but every time she wears it and I see that the ribbing has rolled up, it doesn't bother her at all. She's like, no, I love this. It fits perfectly. And, but like my like little perfectionist brain is like it's grumpy every time it sees it. So, but I'm not like, I'm going to resist it. I'm not going to ask for it back so I can change the sleeves. I'm just going to let it go and learn. And next time, I'll do something different maybe. But that's the, you know, whatever. That's what's nice about this being a hobby, right, you guys? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. That's the beauty of it. There are, you know, things that are not perfect about our handmade knits. It's okay. Sometimes it is about the product. Sometimes truly I do just knit something because I really want it. But, you know, I think I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of the process too. You know, really sitting down and relaxing and enjoying spending my time making, you know, that at the end of it, I have created something, and that's, you know, what a great way to spend your free time. Especially it's nice to spend time creating something or making something for someone else too. And I often find that when I'm making gifts for people, I, you know, think about like if they're going to like it, and like reflect on, you know, our friendship or our relationship, and you know, their likes, dislikes, and often like you know, when I've made something for someone, it's, you know, selfishly like really nice for me too, because I think it just helps me like kind of, you know, bring that like relationship to the forefront of my mind, and you know, really like think about it and be grateful for it as well. So so yeah, that was, I guess I finished out with those gift knits. I didn't do a ton of gift knitting this year, but I think the ones that I did do, I tried to be pretty like thoughtful and mindful of what, you know, the recipient would actually use and would like, instead of, you know, it being like a gift kind of for me of like, I wanted to make this, like, do you like it? So yeah, I'm pretty excited about 2024 moving forward. I think my next video will be a video of what I'm working on, and some maybe what my goals are, or some patterns that I'm excited for in 2024. But I think 2023 was a pretty productive and fun year of knits for me. So thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me just kind of go on and on. Again, like I said at the beginning, I'm very excited to be here and finally be you know, taking the step of filming a podcast. I've been very nervous to do it, so hopefully it's okay. And I really look forward to seeing you guys on my next episode. So you can find me on social media as Swamp Witch Summer. You can find me on Ravelry as Swamp Witch Knits, and this is the Swamp Witch Knits podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I hope that you enjoy your projects. I would love it if you shared them with me. I just want this to be a platform where, you know, we can all kind of connect with each other about this craft that we love, and, you know, just make a really, you know, fun community, like to share what we love. And yeah, I think I'm rambling now, definitely rambling now. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.